Hi, my name is Emily and welcome to Sweet Creek Patterns. In today's video, I am so excited to share how to crochet this adorable little star pillow. Now this pillow pattern is actually a super quick pattern to make. I actually had so much fun designing this and crocheting it. I felt like it was one of my most fun crochet projects I've almost ever made. And so this is the front side, and then it's also reversible. So I decided to do bobbles on the back. So you can see these are just like little bobbles that you crochet onto the panel when you're done with like one of the panels. So you crochet these on, and then this I just basically kind of embroidered on, so little star shapes. I had so much fun crocheting this pillow. So let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. Two things I want to mention real quick is number one, you can adjust the playback speed. So if at any point I'm talking too fast or too slow for you, you can always click the little settings gear icon in the bottom right corner of the video. Then click playback speed, and then you can adjust so I can either talk faster or slower, depending on whether you're more advanced or more beginner crocheter. And the other thing I want to mention is that I'm hoping over the weekend to get the free blog post and the ad-free PDF listed. I was planning on releasing this way sooner, but I ended up just kind of last minute designing this, and so I apologize that it's so close to the 4th of July, but I do hope to and plan to get the blog post and the ad-free PDF. So check the description box down below and see if you find them there if you're looking for that. So let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. Is Bernat blanket yarn in the color, this is in the color Twilight. Here you can see it's called Twilight. And this is a number 6 super bulky weight yarn. You could also use something like Lion Brand Woolly's Thick and Quick, or something that's like a number 6 super bulky weight yarn but isn't fuzzy. But this is the yarn that I will be using for the tutorial. Then you'll also need some of the Bernat baby blanket in the color White. There's no difference between baby blanket and Bernat blanket yarn. It's just sometimes you can get some colors in baby blanket that you can't get in Bernat blanket yarn. So this is just the color White, and then you can also use Bernat blanket yarn in the color, this is called Crimson, and this is a really pretty red that would go along with the 4th of July pillow really well. So now I'm going to show you the material, or the supplies I'm using. So this is a 7mm crochet hook, and this is a Clover Moore brand crochet hook. I absolutely love Clover hooks, and you can see that the hook has gotten a little discolored from, I used black yarn once upon a time and it discolored my hook, so I apologize for that. Then you'll need scissors, obviously. You'll need a darning needle just to weave in your tails. And then you'll also need a stitch marker. And again, I love the Clover brand stitch markers. They are way easier to use. So I'll put links in the description box down below to everything I mentioned. And let's go ahead and begin by grabbing this blue yarn. And this blue yarn will be the main part of the star pillow. So you can see, sorry, this is not, the tails have not been woven in, but you can see that there is what we're, so we're going to start right here, work out, and then we're going to do each of the like little stars. So we're going to go ahead and begin by making a magic circle. So you're going to put the yarn at the base of your hand, and you're going to wrap around the yarn going to the front, and then wrap around going to the back. So you're going to make an X shape, and then you're going to flip your hand over to the top side. You're going to go under that first loop and grab that second loop and pull that up, then pinch with your 2 fingers, and then bring your fingers out of there. So now you can go ahead and put your fingers back into there to hold it, otherwise it just fall apart. And you're going to make a chain. I personally like to make a chain when you're making a magic circle and you're going to be working the round. You don't have to do a chain, but I like to make a chain. So we made a chain. Now you're going to single crochet 8. Actually, one thing, I forgot to mention how to make a chain. So if you're struggling with making a chain, you're just going to yarn over and pull through. And that's one chain. So now you're going to single crochet 8 into this magic circle. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2. And that's just single crochet. So you're going to 1, 2, 3. And I like to pull on my magic circle tail every so often. Otherwise, it tends to get a little bit stuck in the yarn or in your stitches. So you're going to single crochet 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And if you're struggling with any of the stitches that I mentioned, you can always feel free to look up. I have a couple tutorials on my YouTube channel, and there's also tons of other tutorials by amazing crocheters to teach you how to do whatever stitch you're struggling with. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull my magic circle shut, and sometimes it will not want to go, like right now it's not wanting to go. So I'm just going to take out a couple of stitches and then pull on it, and there we go. And then I'm going to do my last couple of stitches. It tends to get really stuck easily with this Bernat blanket yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One last single crochet. There we go. And you should now have 8 stitches. So now you're going to go ahead and begin round 2 by inserting your hook into that very first stitch, and you're going to go ahead and make a single crochet increase into that very first stitch. So you're going to, that just means you're going to single crochet increase, just means that you're going to single crochet 2 into the first stitch. So single crochet 1. Now I'm going to insert my stitch marker into that first stitch of round 2, and then you're going to insert your hook back into that same stitch and single crochet again. So you're going to just single crochet increase in each stitch around. So now into the next stitch, you're going to make 1 single crochet, and then you're going to work right back into that and make another single crochet. And you're just going to repeat that in each stitch around. So single crochet increase in each stitch around, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up round 2, and I will meet you back. Alright, so I just finished round number 2, so I did a single crochet increase in each stitch around, and you should have 16 stitches now that you're done with round number 2, and we are going to go ahead, and for round number 3, you're going to single crochet into the very first stitch, and move your stitch marker, and then you're going to single crochet increase in the next stitch. So you're just going to repeat that little repeat in each stitch around. So single crochet in the next stitch, and then single crochet increase into the next stitch. So just that little mini pattern you're going to just repeat in each stitch around. So single crochet, then single crochet increase, and I'm going to go ahead and finish round number 3, and then I will meet you back. Alright, so I just finished round number 3, and you can see that this is how it should be looking at this point. What you're going to do for round number 4, so you should have 24 stitches now that you're done with round number 3. And so now for round number 4, you're going to single crochet into the very first 2 stitches. Move your stitch marker after your first single crochet, then single crochet into the next stitch, and then you're going to single crochet increase into the next stitch. So single crochet into that first stitch, next stitch, single crochet increase in the next stitch, and you're just going to follow that repeat for each stitch around. So single crochet in the first 2 stitches, single crochet increase in the next stitch, and you're just going to repeat that in each stitch around, and I will go ahead and finish round number 4 off camera and meet you back. Alright, so you can see that I finished round number 4, and you can kind of count 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you should have 32 stitches. And for round number 5, you're going to single crochet into the very first 3 stitches. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but we're increasing by 8 stitches every time. So it was 8, 16, 24, 32, and now after this row, it'll be 40 stitches. So we're increasing by 8 stitches every time. So now, that was kind of a side tangent. Back to the main focus. So for round number 5, you'll single crochet into the very first 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to single crochet increase in the next stitch, and that just means 2 stitches into 1 stitch, like I mentioned before. So now you're just going to continue that repeat in each stitch around. So single crochet in the first 3 stitches, and then you're going to single crochet increase into the next stitch. So remember, that just means 1 single crochet and then 1 more single crochet into that same stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up round number 5, and I will meet you back. All right, so I just finished round number 5, and at this point you should have 40 stitches, like I mentioned at the beginning of the round, and it should be laying pretty flat at this point. It might have a little bit of bend, but it should be laying pretty nice and flat. Now we're going to go ahead and begin round number 6. So for round number 6, what you're going to do is you're going to single crochet into the first 2 stitches, and then you're going to single crochet increase in the next stitch, which is a little bit different than what we did, which is a little bit different than the repeat that we've been doing. So single crochet into the first 2 stitches, move your stitch marker after your first stitch, then you're going to single crochet into the next stitch, and then you're going to single crochet increase in the next stitch. Now the mini repeat that you're going to follow for this row is single crochet increase and then single crochet 4, and then you're going to follow that again and again. So increase and then single crochet 4. Now the reason that we did those first 2 single crochets instead of doing the normal what we do is because after a couple rows of decrease, the increases end up being in the same spots, and you'll start to end up getting kind of like this, I don't know, like this pentagon shape instead of this nice round circle that we're going for. So that's why we did the first 2 single crochets. So we did 2 single crochets. Now you're going to follow the little mini repeat of increase, single crochet 4, and then you're just going to repeat that in each stitch around. So you're going to increase and then single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And I'm going to go ahead and complete this round, and then I will meet you back. So just increase, single crochet 4, and then you should have 2 stitches at the end, and I'll meet you back and we will complete those 2 together. All right, so you can see this is how it should be looking, and we just finished round number 6, and you should have 2 stitches left. So we just did, oh, there we go. We just did our last increase, and now you should have 2 stitches left, so you're just going to single crochet into each of those 2 stitches. So that the only difference that we did for this round, other than like normal, was just the 2 single crochets to begin, and that was just to make it look a little bit more round, like I said. So the increase is in a different spot, not just the same spot again. So now for round number 7, you're going to single crochet into the first 5 stitches, kind of like the normal repeat again. So increasing 1 stitch between the increases every round. So single crochet in the first 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to single crochet increase into the next stitch. So just repeat that little mini pattern in each stitch around, and then I will meet you back at the end of round number 7, and we will continue on. All right, so I almost finished round number 7, but before I finished it, I wanted to mention one quick thing. So I have 1 stitch left, and normally you would do an increase in there, just like the repeat. I told you the repeat should be, but because the stars, you'll need the right amount of stitches, you're not going to do an increase into the last stitch. So the whole round you did exactly like we said, 5 single crochet, then an increase. But into this last stitch, you're not going to do an increase, you're just going to single crochet. So instead of doing increase, 5 stitches, and then another increase, we did increase, 5 stitches, and then just 1 more normal stitch. So hopefully that makes sense. So normally you would have 56 stitches at the end of this round, but this time you only have 55 stitches. So just 1 less stitch. So now that we have 55 stitches, for round number 8, we are going to single crochet in each stitch around. Just a very plain round. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I will meet you back. So just single crochet in each stitch around, very simple, basic round, and I will go ahead and finish this and meet you back. All right, so at this point, I just finished round number 8, and you should have 55 stitches because we didn't do any increases in this round. And now what we're going to begin doing is we're going to begin working on, I'll call it the star shape. So what we're going to do is we are just going to begin by single crocheting into the first 10 stitches only. So insert your hook to begin. And this I'm going to be calling row 1 of the star. So for row 1 of the star, you're going to single crochet into the first 10 stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And so you should see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now what we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and chain 1, turn your work, and for row number 2 of the arm, you're going to, you're going to decrease into the first stitch. So you're going to insert your hook into that first stitch, yarn over and pull through. Then you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. And now at this point you should have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to single crochet into the next 6 stitches. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're going to single crochet increase into the last 2 stitches. So, or sorry, I didn't mean single crochet increase. You're going to single crochet decrease into the last 2 stitches. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. You should have 2 loops on your hook now. And you're not going to yarn over and pull through. Instead, you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. And you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So now at this point, you should have 8 stitches. You're going to go ahead and chain 1, turn your work. And for rows number 3 and 4, you're just going to single crochet in each stitch across. So you should have 8 stitches. You're just going to chain 1, turn, single crochet in 8 stitches across, and then you're going to repeat that for a total of 2 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and complete that. Actually, I'm just going to stay on here because I just finished row number 1, or sorry, row number 3, and then now I'm on row number 4 of the star. So 7 and 8. So now you should, at this point, you should have 4 rows. You should have done 10 stitches, a decrease row, and then 2 rows of no decrease. You're going to go ahead and chain 1, turn your work, and for row number 5, you're going to single crochet decrease over the first 2 stitches. So insert your hook again, yarn over, pull through. You should have 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And then you're going to single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And then you're going to single crochet decrease into over the last 2 stitches. So single crochet decrease, just like we've been doing. Then you're now should have 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And for row number 6 and 7, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you're just going to single crochet in each stitch across. So I'm going to go ahead and complete that on camera. So just 6 single crochets, and then chain 1 and turn, and then 6 more single crochets. So the funny story about me designing this pattern is that my dad, who's a great idea, he thinks of great ideas for patterns. He mentioned that I should create a star pillow pattern for the 4th of July like 2 months ago. And then the week before 4th of July, which is this week, I was like, I should probably make that starfish that my dad mentioned, or star pattern that my dad mentioned. So I was like, I yesterday started the star, and then today I'm filming the tutorial. So kind of funny story. I definitely did not plan this the best. So, but it's a really super quick pattern and very fun to make. So anyway, back to the actual pattern part. So we just finished rows 6 and 7. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and chain 1, turn your work. And for row number 8, you're going to single crochet decrease over the first 2 stitches. You're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then you're going to single crochet decrease over the last 2 stitches. So now at this point you should have 4 stitches. You're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to single crochet into each of those 4 stitches. And this is, row number 9 and 10. You're just going to single crochet in each stitch across. So I just did 1 row. Now I'm going to do 1 more row. There we go. So, little recap. We did a decrease row, which was row number 8. Then for rows 9 and 10, we just did single crochets. And you should have just 4 stitches left. Now you're going to chain 1, turn your work. And for row number 11, you're going to single crochet decrease over each of these stitches. So you're going to make a single crochet decrease over the first 2 stitches. We just did that first single crochet decrease, and now you're just going to do a single crochet decrease over the next 2 stitches. So at this point, I just finished those 2. You should now have 2 stitches left. So you're going to go ahead and chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to single crochet into each of those 2 stitches. And this time, normally we do 2 rows of that. This time you're just going to do 1 row. So it's just row number 12. And then now for row number 13, you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to single crochet decrease over these last 2 stitches. And now at this point, you're going to go ahead and cut your yarn. So you should have 1 stitch left, and you're going to just yarn over and pull through, and then pull up your strand to tie off. And there you go. We just finished our little star number 1. So now you're going to repeat what I just did 5 times. So let me show you how to begin, and then I'll let you back up the video and do the same thing for each of these little stars. So what you're going to do is, now that you finished that one, you're going to skip 1 stitch. So you can see we just came out of this stitch. We did 10 stitches, and this was the 10th. Now you're going to skip 1 stitch, and into the 2nd stitch, you're going to insert your hook like that. So skip 1 stitch, into the next stitch, you're going to insert your hook, and you should, the right side of the work should be facing at you. It really doesn't matter, but that's how I normally did it. So skip 1 stitch, into the next stitch you're going to insert your hook. Then you're going to go ahead and grab your yarn, and you're just going to, so you're going to just lay your yarn over your hook. So you'll see the short tail, and then I'm holding the yarn that goes to the ball. So you're going to just yarn over and pull through, chain 1, and now you're just going to single crochet in each of the 10 stitches across. And with your chain 1, you're going to, when you start your 10 single crochets, you're going to single crochet into that very first stitch that we just did our chain out of. So insert back into that same stitch that we just did our chain out of. Insert into there, make a single crochet, and then you're going to single crochet into the next 9 stitches. So total of 10 stitches, and you're just going to repeat exactly what we did for this first little arms of the star. So you're just going to complete that, and then once you're done with that arm, you're just going to skip 1 stitch and do the exact same thing. So you're just going to repeat the instructions I mentioned here for a total of 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 more times, and you'll have a total of 5 arms for the star. So I'm going to go ahead and work on these next 4 arms, I'll call them, and I will meet you back. All right, so as you can see, I finished all of the star arms. So you can see I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can see that for the last, I'll call it arm, I skipped a stitch. I did my 10 stitches, and you can see that I had 1 stitch left, which is exactly what you're supposed to have, because you're going to have 1 stitch between each arm. And so now I'm going to go ahead and you're going to repeat the exact same thing we just did for this panel one more time. So go ahead and back up the tutorial to round 1, do the exact same thing, and then you can meet me back and we will go ahead and begin making the little bit of like trim around and then the edging, sewing these 2 panels together. So this is going to be either the front or the back panel, it really doesn't matter. And then once you're done with each of the panels, you should go ahead and tie in your tails as well. So you can see that I just brought down my yarn a little bit and made a little knot on right here. So right inside on the back side of the panel, just right here. So then I did that on the little spots here and then just cut them off. So that's what you're gonna do. Go ahead and finish working on, or go ahead and make the second panel and I will meet you back. All right, so now that we finished the front and back panels, I wanted to show you real quick how to do these little star shape kind of things. And it's hard to get them to look perfect, but I think they added a really cute little touch to this star pillow. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do that. And then I'm also gonna show you how to make like little baubles if you prefer to just have baubles. Now you can do however many or few you want. I originally have done 13 here, but I plan to do a couple more because it looks a little sparse in a couple of areas like here. So I'm going to do probably a couple of more, but let me show you how to do it. So you're going to grab your white yarn and you're going to cut yourself, I would say maybe like 2 feet long of a tail so that you can do multiple and not tie off after every little star. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my scissors, cut my yarn roughly 2 feet long-ish. And if you run out of yarn, you can always just do grab new yarn for more stars. But I'm going to go ahead and put the yarn onto my darning needle. So you're going to put the yarn over your finger and then just push your fingernail with the yarn over it onto your darning needle and then grab that and pull up. That's just a little tip for you on how to get that on. So now I'm going to show you, we're going to do it right here and we're going to have it facing up this way. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my darning needle right anywhere you want. I'm just going to do it for here, right here, sorry. And you're just going to leave yourself a little tail in the back. And what you're going to do is you're going to go up about 1 stitch. Now, if you feel like that might not be enough, you can always go up just like a half a stitch more if you want. But I'm going up about 1 stitch. Then I'm going to insert my darning needle, go down. So basically we just did our first little thing, and this one is the one that's going to be going up, and then you're going to now going to the sides and then the bottom too. So let me show you right here, for example. So what you can see is I'm going to do the top one first. So I'm going to start here, went up like we just did, and now I'm going to come back through that center hole, and we're going to go up to the side. Then we're going to come back through that center hole, go out to the other side, and the other side, and the bottom side. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my darning needle at the base of that because that was where we're going to join again. And now I'm going to go to the left this time, and I'm just going to go about 1 stitch over. You can see it's not going to be exact. The goal is just to make it look as neat and clean as possible, but they will naturally not look perfect, and that's just how handmade things, especially when you try to embroider them, turn out. So I just went to the side, and I'm now back in the middle, and I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm just going to, when I go to the other side, I'm just going to bring it back to the middle. So I'm going through like through one stitch. So you can see I went through that stitch. It's just showing up right. Whoop. It's hard to see. There you go. So I went around one stitch and now I'm right back to the middle. Hopefully this is making sense. If it doesn't make sense to you, just feel free to kind of follow however much you want to do. So I'm going to go now down to the side a little bit, about one stitch down. And honestly, this is not looking great, but I'm just going to probably take this one out because when I'm trying to do tutorials, it's really hard to make it look perfect. So I'm going to grab, I accidentally took it off my darning needle. And now you're going to go ahead and insert your darning needle into that same center hole that we've been trying to go out of, right about there. And, oh, that was my tail coming through. And now you're just going to go down and to the left, like so. So now you can see, basically this is what it should look like when you're done. You should have gone, whoops, you should have gone once up, once to the side, once to the other side, once down, and once more down. And so hopefully you can kind of get the idea from that little kind of tutorial guide. And I did, like I said, I probably will do in the end about 16. So 1 in the center, 5, so between the middle, like in the middle between, in the center of each of the arms, I'll call them. And then 1 to 2 on each of the arms. So that is how you do the stars. Now I'm going to show you real quick how to do the bubbles. So you're going to grab your 7mm hook that we've been using all along, and you're going to grab your white yarn. Now what you're going to do is you're going to insert your hook. I'm just going to find a spot that needs it. You're going to insert your hook just anywhere that you want to make like a little bobble. So insert your hook, and then you're going to go around and have it come out. So it's only going around about 1 row. You can see, there we go, like that. Now you're going to yarn over, so leaving yourself a little tail, and then this side, yarn over and pull through. Then you're going to chain 1, and basically you're kind of working just into the top only, and the back side just has like a little bit from when you did the chain and the pull through. So now we're going to go ahead and we are just going to do a slip stitch through those, like that kind of stitch that we just went through. So you're going to insert your hook at the top where so you can see the yarn came out of here, and that was so like those were the 2 holes. So you're going to insert your hook where the yarn came out of. So insert your hook there, and then go down to where you just did the base of the chain. And you're just going to make a slip stitch. So you're going to yarn over, pull through, and then pull through. You're going to go ahead and cut your yarn. Yarn over and pull through. And there you go. So now you have this little bobble, and let me grab my darning needle and show you how I tie in this tail. So I'm going to grab this tail that I tied off with just a second ago, and I'm going to put it onto my darning needle, like so, push it down, and then I'm going to grab this other tail, and you can see that wants to flop up a little bit. So when I bring this one to the back, I'm just going to go through that little loop, and I'm going to go ahead and go back down into around the edge of it. So you can see, there we go, a cute little bobble. And we're just going to now tie off these little, I just like to make 2 knots in the back and then cut my yarn. Make sure when you make your knots to not make them too tight, that your bobble ends up being really tiny. So make sure you do that. So now you can go ahead and do whatever you want, and if you want to, you can do the bobbles on the back panel and the stars on the front panel, and then you have options when you can decide which one you prefer whenever you have it on your couch or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up these and tie in the tails, and I will meet you back and we will begin working to start the edging. Alright, so I just finished the front and the back panels. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to make the, I'll call it the middle between the front and back panels. So you're going to make this like long strip of just single crochets, and what we're going to do is we're going to then have the front panel on this side and the back panel on this side. And what we're going to do is we're going to crochet these together, and then we're going to crochet this together. So we'll have kind of some nice, like, squishy part that we can fill with stuffing. So I don't feel like I'm explaining that very well, but you'll see what I mean in just a minute as we begin to make this. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to begin by making a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, you're going to put your yarn at the base of your hand, and you're going to wrap your yarn around your finger twice, grab the back loop, bring it to the front, and then you're going to grab the new back loop and bring it up and over and off your hand. Then you're going to go ahead and tighten your loop, and now you're going to put on your 7mm hook, and you're going to begin by chaining 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, what you're going to do is there's a couple of options that you can do. So for this that I made, this long, I just did single crochets across for a total of 140 rows, but it didn't take me very long because it's just single crochets, super, super simple. But if you wanted to, you could chain 141 stitches, and then single crochet in the second chain from hook, so it would be 140 stitches in the end, and that would turn out just about the same way, and then you just do a couple of rows up. So you can do it either way. I'm going to show you how I did it because that's just how I did it, but you can do it however you want. So we just chained 8. Now you're going to single crochet in the second chain from hook, so the loop on your hook does not count as a chain. You're going to skip that first chain. Let's see, there we go, the first chain. And you're going to single crochet into the second. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You have 2 loops on your hook, and you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So now you're just going to single crochet in each stitch across. And you should have 7 stitches, obviously. 6 and 7. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and chain 1, turn your work, and you're just going to single crochet in each stitch across again. So you're going to repeat that for a total of 140 rows. So now we should have 139 rows after we just finished row number 1. So do this for 140 rows, and you should end up with this really long piece. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do next. All right, friends, so I made this really long panel or whatever you want to call it, between of 140 rows. And now what we're going to do is we are going to begin crocheting, so this panel to this panel, and then once we're done with that, we'll crochet the back panel, or whatever you want to call this, to this in between. And then we'll end up having kind of like a really cute little pillow. So, but I wanted to show you though real quick what the difference is between using a 7mm hook and a 4.5mm hook. So you're welcome to use either one, whatever you want, but if you can see, the 4.5mm is a little bit more subtle, and the 7mm hook is a little bit chunkier. So let's see. Maybe you can see that and maybe you can't. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera. It's not very big of a difference, but you can see that this is the 7mm hook on the side and this is the 4.5mm hook on the side. I personally feel like I like this 4.5mm hook a little bit better. And if you don't have a 4.5, you could use any other hook size. You could use like a 5 or 5.5, 6mm, whatever you wanted. But I just noticed that when I use this little hook, it just made it a little bit more thin and a little bit more of a delicate border instead of a little bit of a thicker border. But you can do whatever hook size you want and whatever hook size you have on hand. So I'm going to now show you how we are going to crochet these 2 panels together. So 1 second. Alright, so this is what I can consider my front panel, but you can use whatever, either the front panel or the other panel, whatever you want to use. I'm going to use this panel just for fun because I think this is my favorite. The stars are my favorite more than the dots. But what you're going to do is you're going to insert your hook, and whether you're using a 4.5mm hook or a 7mm hook, it really doesn't matter, like I just mentioned before in the previous little clip. So you're going to insert your hook into that stitch between the arms, I'll call them. So you're going to insert your hook into that little stitch, that one stitch, and you're going to go ahead and grab your panel that we just made, the 140 rows panel, and you're just going to grab it at the base, so right here. So you would insert your hook here. Now you're going to grab this and you're going to insert your hook into the first row. So you can see there's a chain, and then here was the first row. So if I show you horizontally, it might be a little bit easier to see. So there's the chain, and here's our first row of single crochets. You're going to insert your hook onto the side of the first row. And now you're going to grab your red yarn. So you're going to just go ahead and yarn over and pull through both of those panels. You're going to chain one, and now simply all you're going to do is you're just going to single crochet going through both the front panel and the back panel all the way up. So you're going to insert your hook right where you did that chain. Then you're going to insert your hook right where you did it on the other panel, and you're just going to make a single crochet, and then you're just going to do that exact same thing all the way up. So you're going to want to insert now into the first row of the arm of this star. So you can see here is the first row. So you're going to insert your hook into the side of that first row, and then you're going to now insert your hook into the side of the second row of this panel. So you're going to go like that, make a single crochet, and you're just going to continue working your way up. So you're going to go to the next row of the front, I'll call it the front panel, and then you're going to grab the next row of this other panel and make a single crochet. And you're just going to work this all the way up. So insert into the next row, insert into the next row on the back side. Just continue doing that all the way up. And then once you reach the top, what I prefer to do, because we want it to look as nice of like a little point as possible, is I like to do 3 single crochets into the top. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to continue working up, just doing my single crochet into the front and then to the back. And you can see this is how it should be looking. Very nice, very pretty. And then you can see that that is a little bit, it has a little bit of gaps. You can always take a strand of red yarn when you're done to close off if you are bothered by those little gaps. So I'm just going to continue working up, and there we go, just single crocheting all the way up, and you should have about 13, well, a total of 14, because we did one into that stitch that we stitch between the arms, but then you should have 13 stitches working up the arm. So if you include that first stitch, it should be 14 stitches up the arm, or just about. If you have, that should be exactly what you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then that's the 14th because I counted that original one. So about 13 stitches up the arm, and then 1 at the base like I showed you to do. And now we're at its very top, and what you're going to do is you're going to single crochet, or insert your hook into that, and then you're going to insert your hook into the back panel, and you're going to go ahead and single crochet 3 into there. And then now you're going to begin working down. So you're going to, I'm actually going to go ahead and skip that first stitch and just work into the second row working down. And then I'm going to just go ahead and find that next row on the other panel. And that might actually be what you end up having to do. If you start to get a little bit lower on stitches on this panel, you might just want to skip that first little decrease row, because we went 3 times into that top one. You shouldn't really have to go into that first little decrease that we did for that star. So just go ahead and work into that second row working down. or you can count all the way up, and that would be your 12th row. So you're going to begin by working to your 12th row. So now I'm going to just continue working my way down, and you're just going to do this for each stitch. So you're going to keep going up and then going down, and remember to do 3 stitches into the top, and make sure to probably skip that last row. So you're just going to work into the 12th row, then into that very top 3 times, and then into the 12th row. So 12th, 3 times into the very top, and then 12th row. So you're just going to continue working around like that, and I'm going to go ahead and meet you back once I finish this whole panel, and then you'll just repeat the exact same thing for the other side. But I'll meet you back and just show you a little update before I continue on. Alright, so you can see this is how it is looking. I just finished all of the, going all around, and you can see that I have about 5 rows left. Now this is the magic of leaving your tail not woven in. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take out that little knot that we did to tie off. Grab for that loop. There we go. There we go. So grab that and just pull those 5 rows out. And if you ran out and you need a couple more rows, just add on to this and make a couple more rows. And if you had too many rows like I did, just take out a couple rows. So that's the beauty of just doing it like we did. So I had 5 rows too many, so technically I should have done 135 rows instead of 140 rows. But now I'm just going to go ahead and tie off again. So I'm going to cut my yarn now at the new shorter length. And so now I'm going to go ahead and just grab my hook and yarn over and pull through to tie off and tighten. So you can see now we have the perfect amount of stitches, and we're going to at the very end come back and just whip stitch that little hole together. So now you can see that I can finish this perfectly, and all I am going to do to finish it is I just did a slip stitch to the first single crochet, and there you go. So I just finished now that panel. Now all you're going to do is simply flip it around. So now you're on this side, and I'm just going to join on the opposite side technically. So last time we joined right here where the chain was. This time we're going to join right here, and I'm just going to insert my hook into the side of that first row, grab the front side of my back panel, and just find the base of the single crochet. Actually, I should do that first. So insert your hook into the base of that single crochet, then you're going to insert your hook into that first row of single crochets. You're going to grab your, sorry, my scissors, I forgot to move aside. You're going to grab your red yarn, and now you're just going to do the exact same thing. So you're going to go ahead and pull through, chain 1, single crochet back into that same spot. Now you're going to single crochet 12 up to the top. You're going to single crochet 3 into that top, and then you're going to single crochet 12 down, single crochet into that base, and then 12 back up, 3 into the top stitch, so single crochet increase 3 into that top stitch, and then keep working around. So the most important thing though this time around is that however many stitches you did on this panel, you want to have the exact same amount of stitches. So you don't want to have too many or not enough stitches on this back panel or on this front panel. So make sure however you did it on this first panel that you do exactly the same on this panel. Otherwise you're going to run into some troubles with having either too many or not enough on this panel, but the perfect amount on the other panel. So just a little note. I'm so sorry. I meant to grab my 4.5mm hook to crochet around, and I managed to forget and grab my 7mm hook. But don't get confused. I used the 4.5mm hook for both this side and this other side, but you can use the 7mm hook or whatever hook size between those two for both sides. But just make sure whatever you use for this side, make sure to use for this side so that it's matching and it looks the same. Okay, so sorry about that little mistake. I'm going to now finish or begin working on this panel, and I will meet you back and we will stuff it and close this little gap. All right, friends, I just finished going around the border, so you can see that I just finished it right here. And where did that tail go? So you can see that I just finished coming down, and then I just slip stitched to the first single crochet and tied off. Now it is looking absolutely adorable. So I added some stuffing right here in that hole. There you go. It's a little hard to show this on camera, but hopefully you guys can kind of get the idea. So I just added some stuffing into the hole, just kind of stuffing up into each of these 5 star shapes, and then just stuffing the middle nice. And you want it to be kind of firm when you can do it however you want, but I like it a little bit firm so that it's actually like a functional pillow. Now we have this little like hole left, and all you're going to do is you're just going to grab some blue yarn, and this is the yarn that I actually cut off when I did those 5 too many rows, so I'm just going to use this, and I'm just going to put it on my darning needle. And now what we're going to do is you're going to want to tie in those tails. I'm just going to, for now, put it in there and hide it. But what you're going to do is you're just going to find the base. So here you can see that was the chain. And then I'm going to kind of just grab the other stitch. So you're just basically going to whip stitch this shut. So you're going to go through there. And then you're just going to go through the next chain. And then the next stitch that correlates with that. There we go. And I'm just going to pull through. And the goal is just so you don't see the stuffing and you can't grab the stuffing. So go through the next chain and then go through the next stitch. Pull that through. And you're just going to continue going along like that. So you can see it closed it really beautifully. You can't even tell where you joined. And that is the goal. So just finish whip stitching that shut. So I came from the top, now I'm going to go back to the bottom and then go to the top piece. And I think you can get the idea. You've probably whip stitched a million things before. So that is how it should look in the end. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish that, and our pillow is officially done. Thank you so much for making this super fun crochet pillow along with me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell if you want to get notified of my new tutorials, occasionally vlogs, or yarn hauls. And then also don't forget to comment down below. I absolutely love hearing from you guys, so I'd love to know if you did the baubles, or if you did the stars, or if you did something else. I absolutely love hearing from you guys. So thank you so much again for watching this video, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!